Hello and welcome again to the Leadership Boardroom. I'm often asked, what does it take to lead people? On a previous podcast, I've spoken about the concept of leadership, where you need foundations of vision and values and communication, power, integrity, self and social management. Those are the big ideas, the ones that are up here that overarch everything, very high order thinking. But when you are trying to get your supervisors, middle management, the guys that are on the floor, just to manage their guys that are very, very junior, what does it actually take? So there are a couple of things that are very, very important to bring about accomplishment of actual work. So previously, in other generations, maybe it would have been a thing of saying, well, this has got to be done, you do it. And if you don't do it, there's going to be pain. If you do it, there's going to be no pain. Not even a motivation of some sweets or anything like that. So it's not good enough anymore. Our followers, the people that subscribe to your leadership, are people that have choices more than ever before. They can leave you in a heartbeat. They can choose other leaders. They can go somewhere else. They've got a lot more protection, which is a good thing in some instances, to oppose you. So what do you do to actually lead? What are your expectations and what should their expectations be? And how do you introduce those into the life to get the best out of your people towards your ends? So leading the people at a very basic level is 5 key principles over here. Number 1, and this has been ignored in previous generations. What is your common purpose? And here I say common purpose. There has to be a purpose. What are we trying to do? What is our reason for existence? Are we just here to, tick the boxes? Are we here to achieve something? Is there some greater order thing? If we don't find meaning and significance out of what we are doing, then people are going to be less inclined to just continue for the rest of their lives ticking boxes or making widgets or even a part of a widget, and they can't see any kind of consequence to their precious time, effort, and energy. So there's got to be some kind of common purpose in what you are doing. After that has been established in the minds particularly, and it can be quite simple, but in the minds of the people, it says we are doing this so that this can happen within our society or within this world, and we are doing a good thing. When people subscribe to that, then half the battle is done. Well, people will follow purpose. Back to Viktor Frankl, if we understand the why, we can do the how. So what is the how then, the next step? We have to make sure that there is a mutually understood expectation level. So what are the expectations that you have of accomplishment? So if they've got to accomplish what they've got to do, what are your expectations? That's got to be clear, and it's got to be specific enough so that when it doesn't happen, you can actually point to that. And when it does happen, and it happens in excess, in other words, they overachieve, there can be some kind of reward or encouragement or whatever it is that you want to introduce into your organization. So you've got to have a clear understanding of what it means to have accomplished the work that you expect from your people. It's not enough to just leave it at that. You've got to introduce tools, you've got to introduce support, and a couple of other things, the empowerment, for example, that is necessary for the people to actually do the job, to do the work that you expect them to do. Tools, that could be anything. It could be the desks and the telephones or the spanners or whatever it is in your environment. The support, that is the team. That is the people around them that, hey, I got a problem over here. Where do I get help? Or I need certain training. That is part of the empowerment. I need to develop my skill and my understanding of what's going on over here so I can do the actual job. So that would be the third step in expecting some kind of accomplishment of work. Beyond that, there has to be some kind of accountability. So there's consequence management, and that tunes into the accountability. If you don't do this, this is what you can expect. If you do this, this is what you can expect. But there must be accountability on the expectation of accomplishment that you've established in the second step already. When the accountability has been met to your satisfaction, then there needs to be some area of reward, or if it's not reward, there needs to be some kind of acknowledgement If a person goes through life and saying, I'm doing the job, I think it's okay, I don't know if it's okay, but it's all right, nobody's saying anything, so it must be that is horrendous. There's got to be something, you're doing a good job, keep it up. And that creates the next step, which is the whole thing of improvement, the learning, because after all, we're dealing with humans that have to do the work, and you are leading them. So if I have a leader that is not interested in my growth and my development, my loyalty to that leader is going to be a little bit undermined. I want a leader who's interested in me, my growth, my improvement, my ability to do better and better on an ongoing basis. So after the rewards or the sanction has been put in place, when the expected accomplishment has been met or not met, there needs to be some kind of reward, some kind of perpetuation to keep the momentum going. Keep it up. You're doing well. And next time we can expect a little bit of growth. You can do this 2% faster or 1% improvement every day, or all those things that we've all read about. So those 5 things, which are really, really important in just leading people at a pretty, basic level. Make sure that you have a common purpose, that you have agreed expectations of accomplishment, that after the expectation of accomplishment, you've introduced tools and support so that the person can actually achieve those things in a reasonable kind of a state. After that, you move into the area of accountability and consequence management, making sure that everybody understands we're on the same page. You did this, good for you, not so good for you. Then you have to have rewards or sanctions and support for the person because now they've done well or they haven't done well, and there's got to be, the consequence of that. And then we move into the whole thing of creating momentum and improvement for growth into the future. So leadership at a high level, that's fantastic. That's for high level people. Leadership at the most basic level, you just got to put those things in place. Try it. You will see that the productivity and the success of your people at the most basic level will improve if you just do those 5 things. Good luck.